Today, we're going to talk about how to detach from a toxic relationship, but we're going to look at it through a really different lens. Think of it less like an emotional struggle and more like a financial strategy. It's all about securing your most valuable asset, your own peace and well-being. So let's start by imagining your emotional energy is literally a
This
bank account.
quote just nails it, doesn't it? Every single pointless argument, every time you have to explain yourself over and over again, those are unauthorized withdrawals. And this isn't just a cute metaphor. This is a whole new way to make decisions. Because your emotional energy, it's a finite resource, just like the money in your bank. So let's get real for a second. Think about the last few times you talked to this person. How did you feel afterward? Did you feel energized? Or did you feel drained, completely exhausted, like you'd just been emotionally robbed? If that sounds familiar, then it is absolutely time to change the locks and secure your account. All right, so our first section is all about taking immediate, practical action. These are the things you can do right now to stop the bleeding, so to speak. It's about cutting off their access to your emotional bank account. And it all starts with changing how you communicate. Here are the first 3 strategies, and they are powerful. We're going to stop explaining ourselves, we're going to start using silence as a shield, and we're going to get ahead of their games by deciding how we'll respond way in advance. Believe me, these are not passive moves, they are active choices you make to protect your energy. Let's really dig into this first one, because it's a total game changer. See, you probably think you're explaining yourself so they'll finally understand, but a toxic person isn't listening to understand you. No, they're listening for a word, any little thing they can twist, to pull you right back into the argument and get control. And the cost of this? It's very, very real. It's not just a frustrating chat. Every single time you get sucked into one of these loops, you are literally draining your own nervous system. You're paying for it with your peace, your focus, and even your physical health. Strategy number 2 is silence. Now, this one can feel weird at first. We're taught that being silent means we've given up or lost the argument. But in this situation, it's the exact opposite. Silence is you refusing to fund the chaos anymore. It's like putting up a firewall. Fewer words, no defending yourself, no clarifying. You're just ending the transaction. Now, as you start to do this, as you start to pull back, you have got to be on the lookout for a very common manipulation tactic. It's called the Hoover. Yeah, like the vacuum cleaner. And that's exactly what it's designed to do. Suck you right back in. It can be super confusing, and it works if you don't see it for what it truly is. And this is the absolute key you have to understand. Their sudden change of heart, the kindness, the promises, it's not real remorse. It's not growth. It's panic. They are panicking because they're losing their source of emotional energy, which is you. Once you realize that, the Hoover loses all of its power. Okay, so we've started blocking their access from the outside. The next phase is all about the inside. We have to do an internal audit. It's about taking a hard look at the stories we tell ourselves that keep us hooked and in debt. And here it is. This is one of the biggest emotional debts we carry. We are attached to the person they were at the beginning, or who we hoped they would become. But you can't run your life on old, faulty data. You have to look at who they are today. What are their actions telling you right now? That's the only reality that matters. So how do you actually do this internal audit? Well, first, you have to let yourself grieve the future you thought you had. That dream was real to you, and it's a real loss. But then, you have to ground yourself in reality. I mean, literally, write down who this person is today based only on their recent behavior. It's about accepting that the person you fell in love with, well, that version of them just doesn't exist anymore. Here's another really critical idea for our internal audit. If you feel almost addicted to them, like you can't break away even though you know they're bad for you, you're probably dealing with a trauma bond. It's a physical, chemical thing. Your body has literally been trained to associate the chaos and the drama with connection. And understanding that it's a physical process, well, that helps you see it's not love. Okay, so we've cut off their access, we've audited our own internal stories. Now we get to the best part, reinvesting. This section is all about building your new life and securing your emotional future. This is where we start building wealth. So we come right back to our main theme, but now the focus shifts. It's not just about protecting what you have left, it's about growing it. Your energy, your time, your focus, these are the currencies you are now going to invest in yourself, in your healing, and in creating a life that actually feels good. So what are these valuable assets we're talking about? Honestly, it comes down to this simple stuff. Your emotional reserves, getting enough good quality sleep, and having stable, predictable daily routines. These are the foundations of your new emotional wealth. You have to protect them like crazy because they're going to fund your recovery. So what about that trauma bond we just talked about? When that intense, physical craving to call them or check on them hits, you can't think your way out of it. It's like an addiction, and you have to fight it on a physical level. You have to get out of your head and into your body. And you can do that with really simple physical things. Slow your breathing way down, focusing on long exhales. That tells your nervous system you're safe. Move your body. Go for a walk, do some stretches. The goal isn't to make the craving disappear instantly. It's to ride the wave, to just allow it to be there until it passes. And I promise you, it will pass. And that brings us to our final section, the new bottom line. What's the actual end goal of all this work? What does winning really look like here? Because it's probably not what you think. Here it is. You have to let go of the need for closure. You have to stop wanting them to understand or to apologize or to admit they were wrong. The new goal isn't some big, dramatic final scene. It's the quiet, internal feeling of being safe in your own life again. Your peace, that is the ultimate prize. This is what real freedom looks like. It's not about hating them. It's not about wishing them bad things. True detachment, what we can call emotional solvency, is when they just don't matter anymore. Their words, their actions, their whole existence just becomes irrelevant to your happiness. So let's end with this. When you look at all these strategies, from cutting off access to reinvesting in yourself, the whole journey really just starts with one small decision. It starts with one single action that puts your own well-being first. So the question is, what's that first investment in yourself going to be?